Hello everyone, welcome to AI Anytime channel. In this video, we are going to use GCP search and conversation service to build an LLM application. So this is a kind of a low code and no code service that GCP provides. Earlier, they used to call this service as Gen AI App Builder, but now it has been renamed to something called Search and Conversations. Now, this is extremely helpful to build prototypes faster. Now, if you want to build some proof of concepts or some MVPs for your clients or the end user, or even if you want to just play around with LLM applications, this is really a powerful tool that you can use and to build some solutions on a very faster speed. Now, we are going to set it up in our cloud console. GCP cloud console will configure the different features within this tool, and then we will give our own data or document, and then we'll search or chat with that document, everything without writing like a hell amount of code. We'll write like few lines of code to create a kind of an API or interface that we'll see in the later part of this video. Now, this is extremely helpful, guys, for people who are not that sound when it comes to generative AI or the natural language processing or AI in general. If you are a non-technical guy or working in some field apart from artificial intelligence, how you can use this low code or no code tools to build applications faster, or build some applications. And this is also helpful, if you want to show some demo to your clients, where you can utilize this and at least see the feasibility of that particular use case that you are trying to work with. So the requirement for this video is that you should have a GCP account with some credits. That's what you need, and you have to enable your Vertex AI API, okay, and the search and conversation API. So you can find it out, search and conversation, and also the Vertex AI API. That's what a couple of things that you need with the GCP account. So by the end of this video, you will be in a position to build an application where you can query to retrieve some kind of information or search some kind of information or chat with your documents. So now let's jump in and start developing this application, guys. So to build this app, guys, with the GCP search and conversations feature that they provide, the service, we have to log into the console, and you can see I have logged into my console. That's the GCP console, it's called, and you can see it where it says welcome AI anytime. You have this out of this much credits or whatever. Okay, now what we have to do now is either you can create a project, and you can see I have something like, which is by default my first project. Okay, I'll just cancel it, and then you have to search here something called search and conversation. Earlier it used to called uh, Gen AI app builder. Now the name has been changed to search and conversation. Now in the backend it uses the same Palm 2 APIs like text bison and the chat bison, and it also has some integration features with Dialogflow. Okay, so here what you have to do, you can create a new app from either here or here as well. So let's first click on create a new app. Now once you click a new app, you will have three different options here. One is search, then chat, and then recommendations. You can build a search based, like a semantic search or information retrieval based application using this option, and then the next option is chat, where it says answer complex questions out of the box. It is more like a conversational interface for you to have a chat with your documents, with your data. And then the recommendation, where you can create a content recommendation engine based on your query. It can recommend you some content. Okay, now in this video I'll be focusing mainly right now. Let's first create for search. So let's click on select, then let me just click on select. Now once I click on search, it says which features do you want to use in your app. It says the enterprise edition features, which is more of an extractive answers. You can see it extract the verbatim from your document. So this is more of an extracted QA, question answering. And then it has image search, where you can use an image as a query, website search, etc., etc. Now it also has some advanced LLM features like search summarization, where you have summaries, of your some data, paragraphs, whatever, and search with follow-ups. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so this, now let's give it a name. So for our case, we'll call it search demo, and provide your company name. Let's call it AI anytime. It's not a company, by the way, but yeah, it is. This is what it is. And let's click on continue. Now it says you need a data store. You need a source data. Now there are multiple ways of creating a data store here. If you click on here, it will show you these are the options that you can use. Now most of the time, you will have queries that how can I extract, how can I scrap, crawl, and extract URLs from website. GCP search and conversation service also provides you that feature where you can automatically crawl website content from a list of domains you define. So you can define all the domains and make sure these are publicly searchable. Okay, so if it's sitting beside a firewall or something like that, it probably might not work. Okay, now the second is BigQuery. So you can also, if you have your data inside GCP BigQuery, BigQuery table, you can also use it from there. Then you have cloud storage, and then you can also integrate it through some API manually, right? Some data is sitting somewhere else. Now for simplicity, let's do it some cloud storage thing here. Okay, so I click on select, and it says select a folder or file you want to import. So now if you click on file, okay, and once you click on browse, you'll see I will have nothing over here. You can see it says create a new bucket. So let's create a new bucket, and it will create a bucket in your so I'm gonna call it Gen AI demo bucket or something. Okay, and choose let's create, it says make sure all fields are okay. Let's click on it says try don't include any sensitive. uh, Pick a globally unique permanent name. Could I add something like this? Okay. Now let's click on create. It says confirm. Now, once you finalized your name, it says created bucket. You can see it over here. The bucket has been created. Okay. Let me just, let's create a folder, for example, data. Let's call it sample, sample data. So you can look at here the Gen AI demo, and then you have sample data. Okay. Now you can keep on creating folders. Now what I'm gonna do here, guys, now let me just cancel this for a while. Okay. Let's here search cloud storage, and it will take you to cloud storage, and let's go inside cloud storage, and you can find out the bucket that we have. It's Gen AI demo bucket, and then you can, or you can directly upload files within it here as well. So let's upload the files. Let me see the files that we can use here. Okay, so let me just go inside, probably let's use this UNHTG PDF that I have. So I'm just gonna upload one PDF, and you can see it has been uploaded over here. Now if you click on this, you can find out the details about the PDF. It's a PDF around 400 KBs, etc, etc. Now let's go back to search and conversation, and to start it again because we lost that session. So let's click on search. Let's call it Gen AI demo app or something, and anytime, and let's keep it continue. Click on data store, and now here cloud storage, and then you can just click on files, browse. Inside this, you can just click on this particular file. Now if you can pass directory as well. Okay, and here are the options that you can select. Now if you have a CSV file for structured FAQs, that only applicable for chat. Okay, this is able to handle some granular data as well, so you can select over here. But for now, I'll just keep on unstructured document because it's an unstructured document that we have in a PDF format, right? Unstructured data. Now it also has JSON, but that's in the preview mode. So let's click on continue. Now once you click on continue, it says create a data store name. So let's call it something like Gen AI anytime, something like. Now once we create a data store, Now this data store will store everything related to that particular data, right? Now you can see it, you have successfully created a data store. Now let's move on from here now. So let's click on this, create. And once you click on create, it says you have successfully created an app. Okay, now what it does, in backend, guys, everything happens the same thing. The embeddings, the index creations, and everything. GCP will do it for you. You do not have to worry about the all of those things. That if you particularly are not an expert of building LLM powered application, because that is more of a for you, it's more of an infrastructure as a service. They take care of all the infrastructure as well, and they also provide you all these services for you, the search, the conversation, etc., etc. Now let me just invite it. It says processing data. It will take a bit of time. If you click on activity, let it load. So meanwhile it's loading, let's look at the preview. You have preview, which is not available right now, the configurations and all of those things. Because right now it's doing, guys, it has taken your document from Google Cloud Storage, and it's creating the all the required steps before you can search in that particular PDF. Okay, you can see it over here. It says processing data. So see the activities tab for more information, and the activities tab is taking some time to load. So let me just pause the video here, and I will come back once it's get completed. So as you can see that our data has been like successfully imported, and all the backend functionalities that search and conversation provides you under the hood, that those have also been completed. Okay, so like creating vectors and indexing, etc., etc. Okay, now if you look at the activity, it says it bit slow because it depends on what kind of plan that I am using, and what kind of traffic this particular region is facing and all. And you can see import completed, no errors, item succeeded one, and it just got succeeded a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, sorry, before. And come to documents, you will see an ID with your documents. You can see the data store ID. It's an unstructured data. The number of document is 1. You can put n number of documents as well, and you can see the ID that has been created. This is the URI of the resource indicator in bucket, the Google Cloud Storage. Now if you go to preview, you will see a preview mode as just like an interface where you can ask a question. So let me just ask a question. Why do we need UN SDG goals? Because the document is about United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. Okay, now if you look at the output that we have received from search and conversation service of Google Cloud Platform, GCP, it says the SDGs are integrated and indivisible, global in nature, and universally applicable, taking into account different national realities, capacities, and levels of development, and respecting national policies. And you can look at the source document. It has fetched the source document. You can find out some of the returned page number 6 and something like that. Okay, these are all basically your relevant chunks. Okay, they would probably be using recursive character text splitter, or at least character text splitter. And you can look at here, it says we recognize that eradicating poverty, blah blah blah, right? Page 6, it has retrieved the information from there. Now ask a follow-up. You can also ask a follow-up. Tell me about uh, goal 16. So even SDG has 17 goals. Okay. Now I'm asking about the goal 16, and let's see if it is able to generate the response or able to search. So it is a search thing that we have executed, guys. It's not the chat thing. So chat, you will have dialog flow integration as well, that GCP will do it for you. Now it says goal 16 of the UN SDGs is to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, which is correct. And if you look at the relevant chunks, page 30 that it has retrieved, which is fantastic, right? The PDF has around 70 odd pages, and you can find out this is how it might look like in a web interface. if you use the same thing here, and then you also have a mobile interface. This is how it will look like on a smartphone or a mobile or a mobile interface that you can use it. Okay, you can find it out over here. This is more of a like how it looks like when you integrate this. We'll go into that. Now we also have a couple of other things, guys. Let's look at that. One is called configurations. Now within configurations, probably it will have most of the configuration already done for you. Like for example, if you search with follow-up or search with an answer or something like that, it's better to have follow-ups if you are building a conversational chat bot, because your end user might ask some follow-up questions based on the previous question or the response that they have asked or received. Now it also have only search, with only search with a list of results, and then we have search with an answer, which is more of a generative summary that we all do, right? The semantic search with LLM model generation, the response generation. Now you can find it out over here. Extractive answers. A longer passage of text from the research result. You can also get it a short fragment that you can also do. And it also has enable autocomplete. Allow the widget to autocomplete search queries. You can also enable it. So when you are typing, it will autocomplete or at least show you some suggestions. So these are the configurations that we have. You have enable feedback. You can rate some answers, and then you can utilize that feedbacks on both prompt level and the embeddings level as well, right? You can see these settings only apply to the widget, okay, the widget that you have. Okay, now if you click on advanced, now in advanced what they have, let's see that. So you have the same thing when we're creating the application. So you can right now just ignore that for now, because both are checkboxed enabled. Okay, now let's go back to, and you can see the autocomplete and all those thingy here. So let's just, now here comes the integration part, guys. Now you can integrate the same service that you have built through multiple ways. Okay, the first is through JWT or OAuth based. You can see it over here. Then other is the public access. Now if you save the public access, you don't have to worry about a token that the previous one kind of asks you for. So this is how you can integrate. Now the other is API, which is much easier. If you can leave without saving, it is fine. Now this is much easier. Okay, and this is how provide a search query, and you can just particularly use this. You have to give your gcloud auth print access. So basically you have to give your tokens, okay, the bearer token that you have to give. Okay, and then you can probably use this in your wherever you are using it. This is how it, you can search query, for example, what is, and you can see how it gets changed. What is this document all about? If you write that here, and you can see this is how your query gets changes, and all of this keep, you can again customize it a bit, summary result count, and all of those things over here that you see. Okay, now you can run it in cloud shell. So for that, cloud shell authorization and all those will require for now. So this is how you can integrate it into an application, and you will see that, we'll see that in a bit. Now let's go to preview and ask a couple of more tough questions, or try to see. Okay, let me ask a complex question. How is goal 16 different from goal 14? Now this is what I'm asking now, because earlier we were asking a bit of easy questions. Now it says goal 16 is about promoting peaceful and inclusive societies for ST, while goal 14 is about conserving and sustainably using the ocean, sea and marine resources for sustainable development, which is correct. Now what will happen, guys, if we ask a question which is outside of this context? Because most of the time you will have this query that, hey, I'm asking a question which is outside of the context. What should I do for that? So let's try it out. I'll say, do you know what is happening with Gaza? What is happening in Gaza? So let's ask this. And you can find out the answer, guys, right? It says there are enormous disparities of opportunity, wealth, and power. I mean, the answer is not relevant of the question that we have asked. Now, this is where, guys, right, I'll not say this is a problem with search and conversation. At least it should say, sorry, I don't know. And these are the customization that we have to handle it on the prompt level, or at least some different approaches when we are working with the RAG based approach. How can we evaluate it through the ground truth or the relevancy, the all this, like when we use ragas as a tool, right? It gives you the faithfulness, the correctness, the relevancy and all, and then you can measure those evaluation metrics, and then you can just say sorry, I don't know. So there are two different ways of handling it. One is on the prompt level, where you can define these in the prompt itself through advanced prompting techniques, and the other is on the evaluation level, where you can, when you are evaluating it, you can just look at different matrices, and then if the matrices is above a threshold value, then you like we print the response, otherwise say sorry, I cannot generate it. Now you can look at that, right? It does not give you anything about gaja, because it can only answer it from this particular document. Okay, now so you can, the reason I'm showing you this search and conversation, guys, because you can probably use this if you don't have much expertise in generative AI or the large language model. You are not a technical guy, but you want to build a LLM powered application for a proof of concept or just to play around it, right? So you can utilize this service where you can have a document, or you can have a list of website domains or whatever, and you can either search or chat with it. Let's ask one last question. Okay, let me ask this question. Which goal talks about poverty? Now, this is what I'm asking now. Which goal talks about poverty? It says goal one is to end poverty in all of its forms everywhere, and this is the right response. So you can look at it here, right? So it does not answer you if your question is relevant to the document. It does not answer anything outside of the context, but it answers wrong. I mean, it doesn't say that I cannot answer because the information is not there. It does generate, and that's how it is. So I mean, this is good. This is really good when you want to build a faster prototype, a proof of concept, and you can integrate it on a front end, on an interface, right? And you can, if your client is looking to use Google Cloud Platform, because most of the client works with GCP, you can utilize this particular service. Let's try integrating this, guys, now in like we'll see how we can use some backend services or a microservice to basically utilize this service that we have created. So if you look at here API, right? So let's just add here what is this document all about. If this is your query, what you can do, you can click on run in cloud sale. Now once you click on run in the cloud sale, it will basically create a cloud, like it will open a terminal for you. You can see this is the terminal that it has opened, and this again, the code gets, the curl command gets printed over here. Once you click enter, it will probably give you some kind of response. Okay, so you can see the response that you have received. Okay, everything here, the search results, the content, the page number, and everything has been received here so far. Now how I can, if I can show you that how you can build this, right, this app. Let me just, okay, now if I show you that how you can basically open this in, let's open this in editor. Now once I open in editor, I will have an application already there that I will just run and show you that how you can just create an application and run it there. And you can also deploy it either through app engine or through compute engine. You can run it within the cloud run, where you can dockerize this particular application, or you can also directly deploy it as an app engine. So if you have worked with Microsoft Azure, you have app services, right? Similarly here you can use app engine to deploy these applications. And if you want to do it through cloud run, you can also do it using compute engine. Similarly goes with AWS as well, if you want to use Fargate to deploy this kind of applications. Now here I already have a FastAPI app. I will give this app in the GitHub repository. You can just take the code from there and you can just run it as it is. Now what we are doing here, guys, we have a requirements txt where we have FastAPI, which is a Python library that helps you run this like build scalable APIs or the backend services in Python. And then I have something called uvcon, that helps you run this. It provides you a web server to run fast API application, and I also have request, which is a request module, for running this here. Now here what we are doing, we have couple of functions, guys. One is get access tokens. Now the problem with the bearer token in GCP, that it expires, I think, every 59 minutes or something. Every 30 minutes or 1 hour it expires. I exactly cannot recall it. So I'm running it within a sub process that it gets the auth, like it gets the token, and that's what we are doing here, print access token. And we have the other function which is converse, like for conversational, where we have our URL that we got from the search and conversation tab. And then we are passing the bearer here through this function. We have our query, and then we have a couple of parameters. And what we are also doing, a simple HTML code that we have, just will have an input tab, text box, where you can input your query, and by default it will take this query. By default this is the value. What is this document all about? Let's run it and see if we are getting that result. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to say let me just go inside that. Let me do an ls, and you can see I have a folder called demo app. So let's go inside demo app, and then I'm just going to I'm going to go inside venv, and then I'm going to go inside bin, and then dot slash, not slash, it's source activate. So it's an Ubuntu, it's you just Ubuntu, right? So you have to activate like this. And then what I'm going to do is couple of c.dot, and I'm just going to clear, and then let's just run uvcon. This is how we run a fast API application, uvcon app:app, which is my file name and the app initialized name. And I'm just going to reload this. Now once you click on reload, it says application startup complete. Now how can you open this in this particular GCP network? Then what you have to do, if you just do localhost, right, it's running on GCP localhost, it's not running in my system localhost, so it will not work, right? So in that case, what we have to do, we have to come here on the web preview, click on the web preview, and it's right now. See, you can, this has been set on port 8080, but we have to click on change port. So let's click on change port and make it 8000. Now once I do 8000, I can just do change and preview. The time I do change and preview, you can see it opens a very bad looking HTML page, where we have enter your query, and there is already a value which is by default. Once you click on submit, what it does, it will, let me go back to terminal and see, it will generate a post response which is right. You can see the response we have got. So the query that I ask is, what is this document all about? So the answer is, this document is about the sustainable development goals. The SDGs are a set of 17 goals that were adopted by the United Nations in 2015. All the answers here, and then you have your all the context retrieved and relevant chunks and everything, page number, and also you can also do a source citations. You can do a traceability or the explainability of the response or the output. This is what you need, right, when you are building some solutions for your client or in a regulatory industry or something. Now what you can also do, guys, you can use Jinja 2 templates, a better JavaScript, HTML, CSS to build a good looking application or a React application, and you can deploy it through terminal itself. You can use G Cloud to deploy it on App Engine. You can Dockerize it and deploy it on Cloud Run as well. Now let's go back to preview once more. We are just in the search and conversation. Earlier it used to be called as Gen AI App Builder, but later Google Cloud changes its name to search and conversation. So this is how you can quickly create a proof of concepts or MVP for your clients or for your users. Now if you want to play around these LLM applications, you can do it. This is what I wanted to show you, in this video, guys. That's all, guys, for this video. I hope you learned that how you can create your own LLM powered applications for information retrieval tasks, and for content creation or recommendation or chat, this kind of use cases if you're working with. And if you don't have much expertise in different orchestration frameworks like LangChain, Llama Index, etc., or the vector databases, this will help you at least get started. But don't completely rely on this kind of services, because here explainability is an issue. When I say explainability, it's not only about how the model is working, but everything under the hood, the prompts, the vectors, the indexing algorithms, the information retrieval step, and different other things that you might not know that how it's working because it's a black box for you. So it's always better to, create something of your own where you have the control that how are you going to build that particular solution. But this is good when you want to build something faster to show it a demo to your client or somebody. So if you like the video, please hit the like icon, and if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, please do subscribe the channel. And I have n number of videos on large language models and generative AI for beginners and all. You can find it out in different playlists on the channel. Please share the video and channel with your friends and to peer.